What was kind of the biggest thing in that time period? Because I feel like there was like a pre Riley to that time period and then a post Riley. And I feel like you've kind of been in that ever since. Just from like your focus level and how you've handled things and your interest level in different things. And you've kind of found your own niches. And basketball is obviously one and the turf management, another one. But I feel like even after that, like just the way you were in school and then it was like, just the way you communicated, it was like a whole different confidence about you. Like what in that time period do you feel like kind of switched?
Yeah, for me, like it was just there was always just so much going on. Like when you're a four sport athlete, like I was during football season when I was younger, I was doing basketball tryouts. And if I wasn't doing basketball tryouts, I was at golf. Then you're doing baseball early in the morning, you got lifting, you got all that. But I just felt like I was just a chicken with my head cut off, running everywhere. There wasn't actually any thought going to anything. I was going through the motions of maybe basketball practice. I was going through the motions of football, worrying about oh, I got to go to basketball by this time. So I'm not even thinking about practice right now. Um, so I just felt like there's just so much going on and just kind of putting the right people in my life, I guess is what I would say. Like I said, I was called you kind of all the time. Um, and then just kind of putting focus into everything. I was just kind of like I said, I was just a chicken with my head cut off and I kind of was worried about one thing and I was just kind of not worried about anything, kind of nonchalant about a lot of stuff. Like, oh, life isn't going to hit me. Like, I have plenty of time to figure stuff out. And it kind of hit me that, like, oh, there is,
Yeah.
there's a whole different life past sports. And, yeah, just kind of actually being able to take a step back and kind of realizing, like, okay, maybe school does matter. Maybe I do actually have to try a little bit because then I won't be able to do basketball or won't be able to do another thing. And kind of just putting the right people in my life and not really worrying about like, you know, what I have for maybe a different thing. Like, um, maybe I was worried about what people were thinking about me. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, like, why is he not going out for football and like freaking out about just like kind of what I felt like a big thing for me was just stop worrying about what other people like are thinking about you or worrying about what you're doing in life and kind of just knowing that I kind of had the right people in my life and knowing that I kind of knew what I wanted to do and that kind of just
Mhm.
really kind of put life into perspective. For
Yeah.
Tagas
No, you're good.
under your bud.
Yeah, it's kind of like addition by subtraction, like kind of getting rid of a few of the things that you didn't love or were taking up your time and being okay with that. And I think it can be definitely we have the conversation a lot about multi sports or single sport or whatever. We talk, like I said, we talk a lot about like from a purely performance perspective of like basketball specifically, if you want to reach the highest level of basketball or maximize your potential in basketball, and then these other sports can get in the way potentially or take energy away. And like we have a lot of kids that run cross country maybe to help with basketball, but at the same time, it's like, is that really actually helping you with basketball or is it just taking your energy away? But that's like a performance perspective. This is more of like I feel like a mental perspective of like, I'm spending all this time in things that Riley, don't really love. I'm doing it for the people around me or for parents, even, which isn't necessarily bad. Like you said, you got back into baseball because your dad said, but you're going to love it. You just need to get back into it and get past this bridge. Well, it's kind of the same thing with football. And then I think I applaud you for, I think even just recognizing like whether or not something I said helped you or not. But I think just admitting that you wanted to be better, you know what I mean, in these different areas, that you wanted to be better in school, that you were struggling with maybe what other people thought about you, and narrowing your focus on whose opinions really matter. And at the end of the day, it's like making sure that you do what you want to do because that's what you're going to do successful. And then people are going to see Riley. And then obviously, like, that turned into how you played your senior year in basketball, and it was so fun. It was like you were free. It's like you were free from all that, and I think that carried over into school and carried into, like you said, life beyond sports after that. And so I think you've pursued this niche of turf management or whatever, kind of, whether it was working at the golf course and then, like you said, traveling, and you were out of Iowa for a while doing this type of a thing, which you can talk about too. But like, I pre-conversation Riley that we had, I don't think would have taken on the task like that
No.
and run with that. But you knew what you wanted to do. You had a clear focus. You weren't wasting energy or time or focus on those other things, and you were able to really like find your purpose and um, live out your passions, and that was really cool to see.
I think even with the school thing too, like I think for me and my brothers, like school just kind of came naturally. Like our brains were kind of hardwired for that. And maybe that was the case for you, maybe it wasn't, but there's never any doubt to me that you were smart. But um, like it, if you don't care about it or if you don't see the like the end goal of it, it's hard to really apply yourself and give your full effort. And then when you like you found your thing with the turf management and you can fully dive into that and find something that like you actually are passionate about learning about, like then it just becomes easier to learn and you can see that intelligence shine. So yeah, I think it's just finding that niche, finding what you were like created to do or what you're passionate about. And I'm happy you found that. You're killing it.